What is going on? And happy eve of Hallows Eve. This is Seawater 19. It's Tuesday. It's 7:30 Eastern, so you know what that means. We're going to be here talking about comic books. All right, so I'm glad we got one viewer in the chat. Looks like TJ Watson stopping by to say howdy. So what is going on, TJ Watson? But usually I'm waiting for the room to fill up and everything. I go ahead and get started with last week's pickups. So got a few things last week. I actually went to a local shop outside of my normal area, so I haven't even been to my local shop yet this week to pull my pools list. But nonetheless, found a few things in general out of town. First one, we got Fantastic Four #2. I actually missed out on this the first go around. So I was very excited to find this. It's actually a better read than the first one, I thought. I know I'm a little bit late on this one, but I was happy to finally read this, see what the heck's going on with the rest of the Fantastic Four family, including Valeria and Franklin. Even Molecule Man's still with them after the events of Secret Wars, so I was very happy to see that. Obviously, Molecule Man does not have a good issue, too, with that being said. But nonetheless, I really like this read. I think I'm actually going to do some editing my pull list to make room for this because this was a lot of fun. So I look forward to hopefully finding issue 3. Hopefully, I hadn't came out yet and I missed it, stuff like that. So very much looking forward to Fantastic Four issue 3 if I can find it because my store never even got 2. So maybe they didn't get 1. Who knows? Next up, a little bit disappointed in this one. But nonetheless, still a solid read, I thought. Spider-Geddon #2. Got the In-Hyuk Lee, I believe this is his variant cover. Like I said, this one was kind of all over the place in terms of like what the spiders are doing and them recruiting their teams. Because it looks like by Spider-Geddon #3, they're all going to be fighting each other somehow. And in this one, they're like just getting their asses kicked. So not a huge fan of this issue. The first one was all right. Second one, not so much. But I did like the edge of Spider-Geddon, so I'll probably end up getting the next issue. That being said, we also get Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1. Had to pick it up for that nice, beautiful art germ cover. Everyone in the community loves them some art germ, so there you go. Awesome looking Spider-Gwen there, or Ghost Spider, whatever we're supposed to call her now. So nonetheless, another Spider-Gwen #1. This is like her 3rd series or something like that now. This one didn't do too much for me either. I'll be honest. A lot of it had to do with the whole Spider-Geddon spinoff. She's like stuck in a different world now, which I thought her world already is interesting enough. So the fact that they had to throw her in Spider-Geddon to be thrown into another Marvel reality, I'm not a fan of the direction this one's going in, but I do like the character, so we'll see what happens there. But so far, I'm not too impressed with the direction. This isn't going to work. Whew. Spidey's getting hot in here. Dang. Oh my goodness. I don't know how Spider-Man does it. Well, while I'm getting my composure back, I'll read the chat. Looks like we got Prowler 671 waving hi. So what's going on, man? Double S Comics Reader says, what up, Seawood, aka Pony Boy, stay golden, Pony Boy. I'll give you a thumbs up back. And then we've got a new watcher in the chat, Fibers Revenge. He said he subbed me up the other day, so thank you so much for that, Fibers Revenge. Just so I think I have more comics than someone. .. It's funny. We got TJ Watson. He says, I have heard from a lot of people about Ghost Spider, bad stories, great cover. Yeah, like I said, that pretty much sums up my thoughts on Ghost Spider so far, because I did like the Jason Latour run of it for the most part, and I enjoyed the little world he created for Spider-Gwen. So, like I said, I was a little bit disappointed in this one just because this book here had to take her, put her into a new universe for this book, and just none of it at all worked for me. Thanks, TJ. He wants me to put it back on. Maybe at the end of the video when I don't have to like talk really fast and breathe to talk to you guys, I can put it on to sign us out. But man, that you might just see me kill over and die if I had to wear that thing for an hour straight on a live stream by myself. Next up, we've got Aquaman #40. Mainly just got this one for the Joss Middleton cover. I don't even know if this one's came out in the last couple months. Like I said, I just went to an out-of-town shop, and this was like the only copy of this one they had. So it looked like a really nice cover, so I bought it. So there you go. You have nice covers. It sells books at the end of the day. So there's that. Next up, I heard, I think this is on Catrin Figures channel. She gave this book a review. and I think somebody else reviewed it too, but I can't remember right now. But nonetheless, a couple people in the community got me interested in this book. It's called Exorcisters #1. This is the Pia Guerra cover, so I was happy to find this one because I really do like her work on Why the Last Man. So I saw her variant cover sitting in the shops on a recommended book, so I had to pick it up. And this might be my actual new pick of the week. I know on Comic Core last Friday I picked Fantastic Four issue 2, just because that's what I had read last week. But this one took me by surprise. I was very impressed with the story. Basically, it just starts off with a couple getting married. Then, like, a little devil shows up, says to the groom that, you know, your soul is mine and your time is up based on the agreement we made. The bride has no idea what's going on. So the groom gets taken to hell, and the bride calls in the Exorcisters, and they're just a quirky duo of sisters that I don't want to spoil any more than that because there are a lot of cool stuff. There are cool plot twists and stuff going on just in the first issue alone. So I'm definitely going to add that to the pull list. I had a lot of fun with that. Next up, going back to Josh Middleton. I think everybody and their dogs and mothers bought this book last week for this cover, Batgirl 28. Probably the best Middleton cover since 23, in my opinion. There's Comic Geek McD saying, hey, and they were talking about this on their feed earlier, which if you guys aren't subscribed to JPO Flash Comics Geek, then they have a great live show, at least on my time, Tuesday afternoons. And I know they were highlighting, or at least they were highlighting, I think, the next issue, which is like a painting of Batgirl, which that looks really awesome as well. But 28, one of my favorite covers, second best cover he's done this year. I read the story though. It was all right. I like the part between her and, you know, obviously Jim Gordon. They get to have a moment in this issue where, you know, she's kind of out being Batgirl, and she comes back home after having a rough night, and, you know, Jim's kind of just gets her in a corner and is like, "What are you doing? Are you still doing this crap?" And yeah, we get, you know, another, you know, one of their similar classic moments between the Gordon family. So I at least did like that from that book. Next up, I just hopped into this one because I thought the variant cover was cool, so I purchased it when I was out and about. Flash 57. I think it's a Mia Sweetan cover. I could be completely wrong on that. It's a cover B from one of their newer artists that they're putting on the book for the B covers. But nonetheless, that was a really cool B cover. And I wanted to see where the story was going. I haven't checked in the Flash since I think the very end of Flash War, which would be about 50 or 51. And I don't even know if he knows about Wally being gone yet because of the new Crisis book. But this one, it was all right. I didn't have a heck of a lot of knowledge on what was going on in between because it looks like they have like a, I can't remember the way they term in the book, but it's like a fire force, and, you know, that counters the speed force that Heatwave summons to kind of fight Flash in this one. And then Commander Cold has to help Flash defeat, you know, Mick Rory basically. So at least a good old Heatwave, and I guess technically Captain Cold story. So enjoyed that. Then my last pickup last week, got a copy of Phantasmagoria at #1. I think Chad from the Comic Core is recommending this one a couple weeks back, and this shop just happened to have one copy. My store around here didn't even get this in, from what I could tell. Either that, or I just completely missed it on the shelf. Maybe I did. Who knows? But it's just a cool anthology horror book, which who doesn't like anthology horror, especially around this type of year? So it comes with 3 different stories: El Corazon Negro, The Flying Coffin, and Put a Little Chile on it. So I very much enjoyed this book, especially the first one because it has to do with, you know, Lucha Libre, and as you guys could probably kind of guess, I kind of like wrestling a little bit. So just a Mexican wrestler who's trying to cheat death by challenging to what he puts as a rematch when he's dying of cancer, and, you know, unfortunately, death kind of whips his ass. So spoiler, I guess, for the first one there, but it's a little comical in my opinion. So, and then there's like this lady on the cover is more or less our crypt keeper for this issue, so she's pretty funny too. So definitely enjoyed that one. All right, before I get into my half-price books haul for the week, let's get back into the chat. Looks like we got Airborne, a Sapper comic fan. He's saying, "What's going on? Glad you can make it, Airborne Sapper comic fan." Also, Gino Presents. He says, "Breaks through wall and trips throwing glitter-covered stormtrooper helmet in his head while screaming, 'Hi, Seawood.' How's it going, Gino?" Yeah, if I left this on the whole hour, I would probably do something Shockmaster like and trip, or like I said, I'd probably just suffocate and fall on my desk here and then wake myself back up when my head hits the desk. So Comic Geek McD says, "I have college in mind. Just want to pop in and say hello. Keep going work." I will catch up on the rerun. Hey, no worries, Geek McD. Glad you could make it. I know it's really late for you guys over there across the pond, so happy you could make it. And we got Prowler671 saying, wrestling, yeah, buddy. Hey, I couldn't agree more, man. All right. So unfortunately, this last week, I kind of struck out at my half-price books going week after week. Sometimes I just don't put out new stuff. So going through the $1.20 bins, I didn't need anything or want to, add to the fun that is behind me because I already got enough stuff to, sort it in there and to sort back in and all that good stuff. So it does become a little challenging, leaving a few things in there and loading up on runs and that type of stuff. So I decided this week, saw a few cool things, and I was just like, I passed on all of them this week. I just wasn't feeling it. But last week when I did do my Wednesday road trip, or actually I think it was Thursday, I did a Thursday road trip up north about an hour away. Bought this nice healthy stack from Half Price Books. Unfortunately, it is a regular Half Price bookstore, so not everything is $1.20 like I'm accustomed to. So I did get some nice finds there, in my opinion, though. So I'll go ahead and start with these couple of dollar books on top. So I've been somehow tripping over these Grant Morrison Animal Mans and the Brian Bolin covers for them. So I absolutely had to. I may as well just keep collecting this run at this point because I keep finding all of these in bargain bins and stuff. So here's Animal Man number 9. Awesome Brian Bolin cover. I love the fact that they got Martian Manhunter on there too, and of course there's Animal Man tucked in the corner. And I think Great Legend has challenged me on rereading this run because I think he wants to, and he's just like, let me know when you're ready to reread that because I want to as well. It's like, I'll probably read one thing and then I'm going to throw down the challenge to him, see if we can get through this. Because I have read this before, but it's probably been about a decade. But I remember it being one of my favorite stories ever from Morrison. There's number 14. Once again, Bolin killing it on the covers. Issue 16. I may have already had this one, but I couldn't remember. But for $1, figured why not pick up another one. Is issue 17. Sad face cover on Animal Man there, as someone's sewing some weird monkey eyes shut. So if you guys want a creepy cover for Halloween, there you go. That's pretty dang creepy in my opinion. There's 18. I like that cat in the background. There you go. Number 19, and this is where it starts to get pretty meta inside the storyline where we're talking about, going outside the panels and that stuff. So pretty cool there. And then outside of the Morrison run, but I do want to get all the Bolin covers. Got issue 33, and once again, it looks like he's going to get pretty political in this one. So got a dead bald eagle there, and Animal Man does not look happy about it. So there you go. So enjoyed getting those. Like I said, I'm going to see how many of those, if not the whole run, at least most of the run. Hopefully I can get that filled in. It looks like Prowler says, I've slowed down on my coat buys too. I need to organize and store my loose stacks of books. Yeah, that's why. And honestly, doing this live streams helped me control my stuff a lot, just because like I have a routine now where it's just like I let the books collect for a week, and then I have these live streams and I show the books and put them in my staging area up here. So it all kind of works out. Next up, we got American Vampire Survival of the Fittest, issue 5. So I think it's either last week or 2 weeks ago. I found issue 1 signed by Scott Snyder, and then issues 2 through 4 of 5. So luckily they had issue 5 of 5. So I wonder if it's from the dude's same collection. It just got broken up. So very happy to complete that. Now I can actually read this in its entirety. But who doesn't love Sean Murphy's art as well? So very much looking forward to that. Then also I found a copy of this on a dollar bin at my local shop, but they didn't have any more. But this shop had issue 2 and 3. So there's issue 2 of Frostbite by Joshua Williamson, which he's been killing it on the Flash lately. So I heard this series was really good and short. So I want to give this read. So there's issue 2. And then there's issue 3 all for $1 as well. So looking forward. Hopefully I can find, I think, at least 4 and 5 before I'd start reading it. So let's see. I see a couple more people popping up in chat. We got Bake the Snake. How's it going, Bake the Snake? Glad you can make it, man. And then a poor man's comic says, what I miss. Luckily, you didn't miss me suffocating on this Halloween mask and my WCW cap. So there we go. We're going to keep plugging that all night. I guess stick around. We'll see if I put that back on and suffocate. So there we go. Genome says, you missed a lot of Animal Man, which, yes, you did. Lots of Animal Man, but we're going to get into a lot of Green Lantern. So decided to pick up this last week, and I do plan on reading all of these. So I keep hearing decent things about this Green Lanterns run from Sam Humphries. I checked out of Green Lantern after John's left the title, so I heard I think is Venditti, Robert Venditti, I think is his name. His stuff didn't do too much for me that I've read. I haven't heard too many people saying his stuff is great, so I haven't really checked it on the Rebirth stuff. I know there's a few people out there suggested it, so when I saw like the first whole chunk of it for $1, I just kind of decided to get it since it looks like most of them were unread. So there's issue 1. And then, of course, the lady at the desk unsorted them. So I haven't had time to read it yet. But luckily, I'm on vacation this week. So that's one of my things I'm going to read this week, hopefully. There we go. Issue 2. Looks like we're going to get some Red Lanterns in that issue. So looking forward to that. Issue number 3. And if you guys have read any of these, let me know what you think. Because like I said, I've heard some good things and a few just I don't care type things. So there's issue 4. Issue number 5, issue number 6, and it seems like everybody, and I'm probably going to be the same way, I'm guessing, everyone likes Jessica Cruz as a Green Lantern, but when it comes to Simon Baz, everyone kind of just has a bad taste in their mouth, so I kind of feel like they may as well have just done like a Jessica Cruz book with a rookie Green Lantern, but yeah, well, we'll see. I'll let you guys know once I read all of these. We got issue number 9, issue number 10, which that pretty much would have been like the first hardcover trade. So I have no problem paying $10 for 10 issues of that. And then it cut off at 11, so I figured why not get one more issue. So there's issue 11. Looks like Hal might be looking all parallaxy again there. I think that's Hal at least. So there we go. Kind of neat cover there, I thought. So happy to find those for $1. Yeah, let's see. It says Bake the Steak says good to be here. So thanks once again. We got Comic Core Chad says sorry late. TPing the neighborhood throwing corn at people's windows. I don't know about throwing corn at people's windows, but glad you can make it, Chad. Glad you're staying out of trouble, it sounds like. Poor man saying, what's up to the Slab Dragon, TJ Watson? I keep forgetting to call him the Slab Dragon now. I do love that nickname. Well, you got Comics Miss Explain. He says, because grew on me. She's okay. Didn't like it at first. Okay. So he must be talking about Jessica Cruz. Okay. Yep, Jessica Cruz. Unfortunately, I'll have a cool bulldog mask like Comics Miss Explained had on JP's channel, which since Chad's in the chat now, I can steal his term. Segue. I'm going to segue into my YouTuber of the week real quick. I had to pick JP from All About Comics. That Halloween special he did on Sunday, I'm so disappointed, and I missed that. I was out of town. I went to Chicago, so unfortunately I did not have like a setup or anything near me, and I was out and about when that whole show was going on, so unfortunately I just was not able to make it because I know Pope Crimey kept asking for me and wanting to hit me with steel chairs and stuff. So challenge accepted, Pope Crimey. I may even put the Spider-Man mask, but nonetheless, I'll have to link down to his Halloween party below. I actually ended up just watching the whole thing today. Like I was going to watch it and do some other things in the background because that's the way I usually watch, live streams if I can't catch them live. But it was such a fun watch that I just ended up just dedicating like 3 hours to watching the whole thing. So great job, guys. Everyone who was there had me laughing the whole time. So good show, guys. I'm glad you guys got to do that. Hopefully next time I can make it. Let's see. We've got poor man's asking if I made it to that store. Unfortunately, PMC, I could not make it to that store. I had to leave town early Monday morning. So that store, I think I researched, it didn't open until 11-ish. And I left way before that to hit the road before traffic got bad. So fortunately, hopefully I can catch it around C2, E2 time, but I also might be coming up early January to celebrate New Year's up there. So I'd like to try again, but unfortunately I got so busy because I had plenty of friends visiting I was also from out of town, but the friends I was visiting were from out of town too, so just didn't line up, unfortunately, but next time I hope to make it to those couple stores. Wow, we got people popping in left and right here. He says, Genome says, at least the corn wasn't in the teepee. Yeah, that's, now we're talking about flaming bags of dog poo. All right, we got Comics with Bueller in chat. What is going on, Comics with Bueller? Also glad you can make it. He's out and doing, my goodness. Let me take a drink after that one. Bueller is now also doing videos for the Comic Core channel, I noticed today. So make sure to not only check out Comics with Bueller's channel for daily videos, he is now doing 1 or 2, it looks like, for Comic Core. So awesome work by Bueller as usual. Yeah, he said Mix Explains says JP's show was fun. Poor Man says funniest show ever. Yeah, like I said, I agree. It looked like you guys had a blast. JLS Comics, what is going on? Jesse says, am I at the end again? You are absolutely not. You can watch me run my mouth for a whole like 40 minutes now if you want to, or 30 minutes. So we got Brett Hess Art. What's going on? Brett Hess Art. Once again, I keep plugging his Instagram. Check out, I think it's Art of Brett Hess. He has some cool like paintings and stuff he shows. I think he has some for sale on there sometimes. So very cool stuff he's got going on over there on Instagram. One time on Instagram, you can check out my Instagram at cwoodward19, same as this channel. So I think I don't remember how many followers I got, but I was blown away by the amount of people that have the comic community over there, because once I started showing comics, the people from here subbed me up, and then people from the IG community started subbing me up like instantly too. So I kind of feel bad that I need to show more comics and participate in more of those tags and stuff. So one of my collecting goals, if you will, I guess, is to eventually participate a little more on Instagram. So of course, what I did this weekend is post pictures of donuts and arcade machines. So if you guys like that type of junk, go and check out my stuff. All right, continuing on with the Half Price Books haul. Found a little bit of X-Men. Don't know why I paid $2.50 for this. I think I was $1, but it wasn't. So for $2.50, I got X-Men 209. But hey, I'll pay that all day for decent bronze X-Men, especially like under 250 issues. So there's that. Thought that was pretty cool. So I couldn't leave that laying. And man, these, oh God, I forgot I was gonna rebag these. I don't know whose collection this was in before, but man, these things stink. So somebody, I'm just gonna hold those over there. Hold that close to the camera. There's X-Men 204. So luckily that was only $1.50. So there's that. I was happy to find this one for $1.50. This is actually a book I've been looking for a minute. I got the X-Men versus Titans. Cool Walter Simonson cover there. So I was very happy to at least find this one. This is surprising I did not have this in my collection already. It's a book I've been looking for a while. So definitely wasn't going to leave this laying for $1.50. And actually, we're going to rebag it anyway. I'm just going to get rid of the stinky old bag it's in, so I can show the back cover. Maybe I'll let you guys make the David Letterman break noise. And wow, that flew basically all the way down the stairs that are over there. All right. So just so you guys see the back, there's Darkseid, the rest of the Titans and X-Men. So gotta love this awesome wraparound cover. There we go. And Charles Xavier in the middle. So absolutely been looking for this book for a minute now. Very happy with it. And like I said, can't beat $1.50. Luckily, the bag doesn't stink as bad, or the comic doesn't stink as bad as that bag, because I don't, like I said, I can't pinpoint. It just smells like super old, just grungy plastic or something. I really don't know how to describe it. It smells foul. So I don't know. Like I said, it was just the X-Men ones too. It was weird. So yeah, I'm definitely have to rebag all of these X-Men books. But there's that. Put my nose back here. Next up, I found a New Mutants Annual number 6 for $1.50. This was the first Shatterstar, so couldn't leave this laying in a cheap bin when it's basically a key book. I know some people around the community like to collect Liefeld and first Shatterstar and that stuff. So here, why not grab that? And I was missing this annual out of my New Mutants run. Got issue 3. So here, why not pick that up for $1.50? So that concludes that part of the run, and I'm going to put those X-Men books very far away from my nose. So there we go. Let's see what the chat is saying. Looks like we've got Bueller's asking, are you on MySpace also? I probably am, but that hasn't been updated in a decade. So if they don't auto-delete things on MySpace, which I'm not even sure if MySpace still exists, then technically, yes, I am on MySpace under cwoodward19. Bueller will look that up and let everybody know, because I'm not going to go back to my old account. Comic Smith Explains says our arcade looks sweet. Yeah, there's this cool arcade. I think it's just called Logan's Arcade in Chicago, Illinois. It's always a fun time. It's kind of one of those barcade style things where they charge you a bunch for beer, and then you end up putting the rest of your change in the arcade machine. So those are always fun. We got Who Dat Comics and Movies. What is going on? Who Dat Comics and Movies. Glad you could make it, man. One of my favorite YouTube channels out there. While he's in there, I that reminds me to plug, I believe the Great Legend is having his auction this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure Whodat, if he can make it, will be there. Otherwise, he'll probably be there next time. I can't remember if he was taking the first or the third one off. But nonetheless, I know he's on every single auction the Great Legend does. So there will be an auction this weekend. And actually, that reminds me of, speaking of auctions, I believe about maybe an hour from now, I think he said, if he's still doing it, JP from All About Comics, I believe, is having an auction tonight as well. So I haven't seen the little thing. I think he might have popped it up yesterday. So definitely check out All About Comics' channel. I believe he is having an auction tonight with Brandon Stowinski, if you guys like good deals and stuff. Because I remember, I think I did buy something from the last auction. I just can't remember who, what, or when. But nonetheless, the things I've gotten off his channel, I've actually done some selling on his channel as well. Phenomenal deals on both channels. So if you guys like the auction community scene and the community, check out his channel tonight. All right, so we've got Whitewell Comics. He was my YouTuber of the week last week. So once again, he's got some cool stuff on his channel going on. So this can only hang for a second. I want to say hi. No worries, man. Glad you can make it out at least just to say hi. Genome says, one of my favorite hole-in-the-wall local shops. I used to go in the youth. Owner chain smoked vile cigars. All of his inventory reeked like it. That kind of sucks, but yeah, that might be part of the reason why these comics don't smell so good. But I'm glad it was just the bags and not the actual book itself. So I will be probably burning those comic book bags so I don't have to smell them ever again after I rebag them. So let's see. He says, congrats on the win last night, Whodat. I'm assuming they're talking about the Saints. So go Bears. They won yesterday too. So bear down, baby. Poor man helped me out with that in the chat. So, oh, and then Whodat does say, I won't be on the auction until December 1st weekend. Okay, so that's what I was wondering, Whodat. So I know when he comes back, he's going to come back with a vengeance. So he always has phenomenal deals and excellent stuff to sell too. And some of the books he shows on there, man, I could only dream about finding some of those books and slabs and stuff. Beeler says, I have 7,429 followers on MySpace. First, that's news to me. I only knew about one. So, all right. That being said, I want to do an unboxing, or I already unboxed it. I just got to take it out of the rest. It's been a month now-ish, maybe about 3 weeks. I won an auction lot on the New York Warriors auction. So I was very happy with this lot here. Won this one from MannyNYC. So I think I got this like right after my last live stream. So I got like last Wednesday, and then I kind of just left it there because I was busy last week. I saw it today. I'm like, man, I might as well just do an unboxing of Manny's package on my video today. So why not? So let's see, because it's been a minute. Let's see what I won from MannyNYC on the New York Warriors auction. I think I got these for a few bucks an issue, so I already know what I got is going to be a good deal. And since it's coming from Manny, they're going to be great quality books. So sorry if you guys are watching with headphones on. I should have just unboxed it or unbagged it, but what do I know? All right, so let's see what books Manny's sent me this time. We've got, with one magical word, Shazam, #3. So wow, that is a beaut too. So just to kind of let you guys look at this book there. I just wanted to try to get these Shazams before the movie blows them all up. I know some of them are kind of blowing up now with anticipation of the movie, but I think if the movie succeeds, they're just all going to double overnight in price once it starts to get some decent reviews, because I think it'll be good. But I've always wanted to get these books. I just have never pulled the trigger for whatever reason. And now with the movie looming, I'm like, ah, crap, I got to get those before it's too late. So here's once again issue 3, and that's just a beautiful spine on this all black cover. So very few errors right there. So I knew Manny would come through on that part. Next up, we got an issue 4. So once again, that one looks pretty nice as well. So not too many dings on the side or anything like that. So very beautiful copy. Like Whitewell Comics just said, very sharp colors on these. So once again, when you're getting deals off the New York Warriors, especially Manny, because he's one of the few I buy off of a lot on there, he gives you some really good books. So here's #7, and once again, does not disappoint. So, and like I said, I think I only got these for a few bucks a piece. So very awesome cover there. Says Mr. Tiny once wrong that somehow the talking tiger is out of order. So awesome cover there. Like that one a lot. Here we got number 6, and wow, he must have forgot to take it out of the Mylar. So rare to get a Mylar bag from Manny. So thank you, Manny, for leaving some of these in Mylars. So once again, very awesome quality cover there. Yeah, I'm really happy with these so far. This is great. Here's issue 10. It says, "Marry me, you big red cheese or else." So now we got this old lady holding up a judge in Captain Marvel for a marriage. So that's pretty awesome there. So it looks like we got some Mary Marvel on the bottom there. Don't want to cover her face up. So awesome. Issue 11. His family. So it looks like they're just saluting the year there. So no gags or jokes on this one, but hey, it's still a nice looking cover. We got issue number 26. Holy moly, a dinosaur is about to crush the Capitol. So there we go. Always got to love some dino action. And then, wow, this one, for a giant size, this one's in really nice condition. Shazam 17. And like I said, this one, whew, there's a reason I think he left this one in the Mylar bag. So that is awesome. So great stuff there. So it looks like someone's getting married on the cover again, I guess. Apparently in Captain Marvel world, they love getting married to people all the time. So once again, it looks like he's getting married again. So within, and this is issue 17. That was the last issue, like 10 or something. So probably didn't even take him a year. He's bouncing around between, shotgun marriages and wives and stuff. So there you go. So slowly filling in those Shazam books before the movie comes out, before they escalate in price. So thank you once again, MannyNYC. Awesome lot. Couldn't be happier with this. So great stuff there. Once again, check out Home of the New York Warriors channel. They got a lot of great stuff there. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. TJ says, "Poor man, MySpace is an ancient form of Facebook, hard to use, and you're automatically befriended by one creepy guy." So there you go. And the poor man says, go Bulls with a frowny face. So yeah, the Bulls have had a rough time of it the last few years. I would like to get back into basketball, but man, it's just the Pacers never get that far in the playoffs, and the Bulls don't get in the playoffs, period, really. So, yeah, there's that. I need to try to catch these hockey games. I'd like to have one sport besides football, because you miss football on Sundays, you're screwed the rest of the week, basically. So I'd like to be a two-sport fan, but sometimes I feel like I barely even have time for one. Yep. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Looks like you guys are subbing each other up, which definitely a lot of good people in the chat tonight. And yeah, everyone's thanking each other for a sub. All right, so for my off random topic for tonight, I decided to pull out the old Wizard magazines. So I guess this is the return of a long time ago topic. I'm just going to randomly name it. It came from Wizard magazine. So this time I decided to pick out Wizard number 39. I thought this was an October issue, but it probably technically came out in October, but it is November 2014. Or 2014. Wow, I'm tired today. 1994. Holy crap, am I old? Because I bought this at the grocery store myself, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Yeah, because 1994. It seems like these just came out like a few years ago. But, time flies when you're having fun. But I do first want to highlight the back cover because we got some wrestling fans in the chat. We got Raw's War for the Super Nintendo and I believe the Sega Genesis as well. Oh man, this game does bring back memories. I'm not an LGN fan or anything like that, but at the time, this is all we had. Luckily, the 64 came through and saved us a couple years after this, probably like in 97. But in 94, besides going to the arcade and playing WrestleFest and eating all of your quarters, you only had WWF Raw's War. So I do want to highlight, for Pope Grimy, you can be Bam Bam Bigelow in this scenario, and I'll be Big Daddy Cool Diesel. So there's Big Daddy Cool Diesel with the chair, and then there will be Pope Grimy. He's trying to hit me with the bucket, but now he's going to get hit with the chair. So there we go. So, and I was trying to flip through this a little bit before we started and get a couple interesting articles, see what the world was like in November of 1994. But first, we'll go ahead and highlight, because every Wizard had to have one of these like pop-out type thingies. So there we got Spawn fighting Angela with an awesome Greg Capullo cover. So at the very least, that's why I always recommend people not sleep on Wizards if they see them laying around, because they do have some cool covers and stuff, and from very well known artists. So I know they got a lot of Capullo action in the '90s. So there's one example of a Capullo cover. So there we go. Let's see what else we got, because there were a few things I wanted to talk about in this. And I guess while I'm flipping through pages, please put in your thoughts if you guys collected Wizard in the '90s or I guess early 2000s. Let me know what you guys thought about it, because I really always enjoyed Wizard for the most part. Just early '90s magazines in general, and even late '80s stuff. But I do first want to highlight old Booger Man. I don't know if you guys remember these Booger Man heads, but it starts on one page, goes to the next page, and then like goes into a fifth and sixth page. So there you go. There's Booger Man. So very '90s. So there we go. Like it a lot. All right, let's see. Genome says, I have Wizard right in front of me now. I remember how excited we were when it hit stands, specifically Wizard #1. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the Wizard #1. I missed out on that one originally. I started collecting probably about a year or two after Wizard was originally released, and I collected probably almost the entire '90s after that, to a certain degree. I can't find half my issues now, but yeah. Brett Hess also misses that magazine. I do too. Poor Man says, WF arcade game for PlayStation was great. Oh yeah, like the Midway arcade version of it. I do remember that one. It had like fatalities in it, like Undertaker could drop a tombstone on somebody, I guess. So yeah, that was a very interesting one. I subbed to Wizard from issue 9, says Whitewell Comics. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, I don't think I ever actually took out a subscription. I just got almost all of them like at like Kroger or a grocery store. All right, there is one thing. Like I said, they have a cool Capullo interview about Spawn and how much he didn't like working for Marvel. I think there was one quote from him. He goes, yeah, here's the one quote I did want to read before I move on. It says, working with Todd McFarlane is a dream. He has the attitude that if you could draw a picture of Spawn sitting on a toilet bowl and make it look good, then you got to do it. So there we go, right from the mouth of Greg Capullo himself. So I thought that was really funny. Of course, to get some cool panels that Capullo did for Spawn that they don't care about from the ratings board. So there we go. Oh, here's one of the ones I wanted to talk about. So this is when Titans tussle. So in 1994, Wizard put together the 10 greatest comic battles you will never see in your life, the Wizard way. So the first battle they have is Hulk versus Pitt. So the '90s. So they love their Pitt in the '90s. So today they won't even think about that battle. But I think they pick probably Pitt to win because it's the '90s. So luckily it says Hulk would break the guy's nose if he had one. Actual quote. Next up, they wanted to highlight Darkseid versus Thanos, which I feel like that's happened before, but maybe it actually hasn't. So I can't remember if that one's happened or not. So Darkseid versus Thanos. Who would you guys think would win between Darkseid and Thanos? I think Thanos would have trouble fighting those Omega beams personally. So let me know in the chat. So I'd pick Darkseid. So everybody loves Thanos right now. What do you guys think about that? I want to get back into the chat real quick because I saw the Great Legend show says he's here. So what is going on, Great Legend? I think we have like a play date later tonight so we can play some wrestling and, as Pope Grammy puts it, hit each other with chairs over and over again. So very much looking forward to that if everyone is still down. So can't wait for that. Everyone's saying, hey. And Fiverr's Revenge says, I read Wizard, but it was really negative. If a comic they reviewed wasn't Preacher Sandman or anything by Alan Moore, then it sucked. Very unfair of them. I do kind of agree with that, Fiverr's Revenge. After kind of going through some of these old issues and reflecting on it, they had, we'll just say, they had a hard-on for Image. Let's just put it that way. So it was like, it seemed like their boys were all Image boys. So like your Liefelds, your Lees, the people you see highlighted in this book are highlighted almost every single month in Wizard. So if you're kind of outside of that circle, your stuff was probably going to be put in the way back, especially we'll probably pulled up in here if they did it this time. But like the Hot 10 writers and artists, that thing was the same, whether the writer or the artist put out content that month. So as fun as I did have reading these as a kid and have fun flipping through them for nostalgia purposes, I do agree with you, Fiverr's Revenge, on that point. White Whale Comics picks Darkseid as well on who would win between Darkseid and Thanos. Everyone's saying hi. Oh, White Whale says Valiant too. Yes, yeah, their opinions on Valiant. We got Jason Smith, so that means I got to stop everything and say hi to Jason. So what is going on, Jason? Hopefully everything is going well in the world of mail. And a poor man says, according to Wizard, Gen 13 #1 is worth $140, which we'll look that up tonight and find out if it is worth $140. We got Kakarot. What's going on, Kakarot? We got ducks and butter and pancakes coming in now with the arrival of Kakarot. So I always like when Comic Misexplained posts the goose and the pancakes, just because I feel like you know, Big E's got to have duck butter on those pancakes in the New Day, if you guys know what I mean. So, all right, well, we'll get back into the goofy wizard character battles here. So next up, this is funny because this one was like a year away. So they pick Lobo versus Wolverine is their next fight that will never happen. And I'm pretty sure that fight happened in 1995. Maybe it was 97. I can't remember. But I believe theirs is different, though. It says, the big reason you'll never see this brawl is the comic in which contained would consist about 3 panels and cost around 43 cents. There ain't no money in it. The fight is a cosmic equivalent of Bambi versus Godzilla. More or less, they picked Lobo to slaughter Wolverine. When the fans got the vote on it about a year later, they voted the opposite. So Wolverine beat Lobo, and Wizard had nothing to say about it, I'm pretty sure, after that. So I always thought that was pretty funny, and thought it was hilarious reading this now. So there you go. Lobo versus Wolverine. And there's Wolverine running like a child, saying, I'm out of here, bub. So there we go. Jason's asking, what year's the Wizard? It's from 1994, November issue, Jason. So once again, you guys just joining us. I'm sorry, 39 from 1994. So there we go. Next up, we got Thor versus Superman. And I believe they, of course, are going to pick Superman because it's the 90s. That's the next one you guys can pick. So what about Thor and Superman? Who would win between Thor and Superman? Because based on Wizard, they agree with me that Superman would kick Thor's ass. So there we go. I might have to bring maybe someone will have to bring back that fanboy fight club that Lords of the Long Box used to have for this one. Next up, they got Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer. So they say because of this one, the only thing keeping this fight from being a bloodbath is the fact that Nord Rand, the Silver Surfer, is a nice guy. As much as like Hal Jordan, Green Lantern is my favorite character, I would probably have to agree that Silver Surfer would probably win the battle. But who knows? That'd be a tough one, though. It's very tough. But you know, he is infused with the power cosmic, so I can't not pick Silver Surfer because I really do like Silver Surfer too. Keep going. Here's one for the legend. We got Dr. Doom versus Lex Luthor. So Dr. Doom versus Lex Luthor. That's a tough one for me too. I think they picked a draw on this one, so it was their only draw. So there you go. I probably eventually want to pick Dr. Doom because Lex Luthor and his insanity. It seems like a lot of his weapons, if they like saw each other and started the fight, a lot of Luthor's weapons are kryptonite based and against Superman. Whereas I feel like Doom, he's ready to fight 4 people at any time. So just because of stupid logic, I'm going to pick Dr. Doom because Doom owns. I know he's great in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so I always got to pick Doom there. We got Sergeant Rock versus Sergeant Fury. Yeah, Sarge's. I'd probably pick Sergeant Rock in that one because why not? I'll lean DC. So, and then the last one, Swamp Thing versus Man Thing. I've always got to go with my boy Alec Holland, aka Swamp Thing, on that one. I don't even remember I think they actually do pick Swamp Thing as well. So there you go, Battle of the Things. All right, chat, what are you guys saying? All right. TJ says neither rain or sleet or snow will stop Jason and his mailing ways. So we all know that. Jason will get a package to you, no matter how kicked in and destroyed it is, it'll be just fine. Jason also says he had all them wizards, so that's awesome. Poor man says, I see Gen 13 #1s and dollar bins, $5 tops. Yeah, actually, I think Reggie Simmons just won my contest. I sent him a Gen 13 number. I think I sent him the Gen 13 #1. I sent somebody Gen 13 #1 that I found for $1 at a dollar bin. But I still love that book because it's, you know, one of the first J. Scott Campbell artworks, if not the first J. Scott Campbell main headline book. So I've really always enjoyed collecting that, and will pick it up probably every time I see it in a dollar bin. We got Eli, Easy E, the Game Hunter. What's going on, Eli? Glad you could make it, man. Showing off some Warriors books earlier. So, like I said, I'm glad the Warriors are trickling in here. So, what is going on, Eli? And you also missed my, for those of you just joining us, you missed my Lucha mask. So, that got too hot. All right. Genome says, Wolvie fanboys used to think that he could beat the Living Tribunal. Yeah, I think it'd just be like, see you, Wolverine. So, yeah. Yeah, there were some crazy fanboys in the 90s. Well, there still are today. Don't get me wrong. Whitewell says, I know, I just wish Gen 13 was still worth a lot. Andy picked Doom to beat Luthor. TJ says, I always enjoyed sitting away for the Wizard 1/2 comics. Yeah, I had about a stack this big by the time the Wizard stuff folded. I absolutely love getting those 1/2s. I think my favorite ones were the Gen 13 1/2 because I watched my brother pay $40 for it. It makes me laugh today. And then the X-Files 1/2 because I love those old Topps X-Files comics from the 90s. All right, looks like everybody's picking Doom. So Genome says Doom took the freaking Beyonder's power. Lex piffed. Yeah, I agree. Comics Misexplained picks Doom. Chad Comic Core picks Doom, and including the fact that he has magic. Brett Hess picks Doom. Yes, Doom, Doom, Doom. Let's see. Poor man says, I felt bad because growing up, my parents bought me a Gen 13 mini-series for $100 plus for Christmas. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, that first issue was a minimum, like what? You said 100 some earlier, but I mean, I would go to trade shows and stuff as a kid, like in Kentucky. They had a bunch of flea markets down there. I mean, usually you wouldn't see it for under like $40 minimum $40. And it's dollar bin stuff today that you kind of just push out of your way. I know a lot of people do. We got Brandon Stowinski Comics in the house. What is going on, Brandon Stowinski? Like I said, I believe him and JP are still on for their auction tonight, probably shortly after this video concludes. So once again, check out All About Comics, as him and Brandon Stowinski are always hooking it up with some great deals. Comic Core Chad is suggesting Swamp Thing will beat Man Thing. I agree. We got Mr. Gretzky 9966. What's going on, Mr. Gretzky? Glad you could make it. Unfortunately, there's no like Archie versus Punisher. I guess probably because that fight actually happened, they didn't put it in there. So nothing like that in there. All right, let's see who else we got. Chad is asking, did I used to read Mutant X? I did not. That was kind of in the small time I was out of comics is when Mutant X was coming out, because I think that was around like X-Man and stuff like that. I remember the syndicated TV show Mutant X with the dude who used to play Lex Luthor and Lois and Clark. This is my main experience I remember about Mutant X. He's also saying bunk beds in the future for Comics Misexplained. So yes, C2E2 meetup. I don't know if there's going to be bunk beds in that house, but I think Chad's going to build a bunch of bunk beds and bring them to C2E2. So there we go. All right. Yeah, TJ is saying Gen 13 1, 9.8 CGC is about worth $50. Yeah, that seems to be like a baseline price for any 9.8. Virgil. And then Brandon Stowinski is confirming auction tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. So I gotta be done by 9 p.m. Eastern, guys. So remind me, if it gets to 8:55, kick me out of here. Tacoma Comics says Harrow County. What's going on, Tacoma Comics? Glad you recovered and survived JP's live show, because that looked rough. Nice costumes, by the way, guys, on that show. I was loving the whole thing, like I said. Jason's asking, if I win, can they pay the auction on Friday? Oh, sure. So don't quote me on that on the next channel. So, all right, back to this goofy issue of Wizard. Let's see what else we missed. Oh, there's still more fights. So we'll just do a round robin of these real quick. So we got Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. They pick Green Arrow. I do too. Oliver Queen all the way. The reason that fight wasn't in the Marvel vs. DC in the 90s is I think they killed Oliver Queen off in that plane crash. And Green Arrow 101. Otherwise, that probably would have been a really cool fight in that book. But I would pick Oliver Queen all day over Hawkeye. So suck it, Hawkeye. Iron Man versus X-O Man of War. your winner is XO Man of War, says Wizard. So like somebody said in the chat earlier, they love their Valiant. So there you go. He beat Iron Man. So yeah, we're not even gonna put pickings on that. We have our Hunkin' Babe of the Month. We always loved our Wizard Hunkin' Babes of the Month. So we have Vogue and Captain America as our Hunk and Babe of the Month. So there you go. Look at that beefcake there. So there you go. Captain America, ladies and gentlemen. So wow. All right. Let's see what else this issue had to offer. So we've got this. I didn't read all the way through this, but this is kind of an interesting look about Randy Bowen and the Bowen statue. So I'm not sure what year Bowen started, but it's just cool to see like an early 90s article about Bowen statues because they do show off some probably cool and very collectible ones at this point, like the Frank Frazetta Death Dealer on that one looked like it. That one would be sweet to have, wouldn't it? That's awesome. And then there's a Bone and a Dream from Sandman. So kind of cool little arc. Probably the most interesting article so far besides the Capullo interview in this book. Speaking of that, gee, I wonder why they picked XO Man of War to beat Iron Man. That's interesting. I wonder why. There you go, Brett has a 2-page XO offer. Oof, yeah, like I said, they're a little bit biased in the offices of Wizard. Gareb Sheamus must have had some sort of contract or money with Valiant and Image. So, and they always had like these like fan drawings, which not too much to note there. It's kind of a cool thing they highlighted. Space filler for the magazine. Sorry, just flipping through all the Valiant stuff. Now there's a tiny little panel about Iron Man. Now here's an advertisement for some Marvel Masterpiece cards. I always like those type of cards. Some awesome art on those. I always collected those when I could, but around 94, I didn't spend my allowance on cards, unfortunately. But if I did, I would have got more of these because every time I do see them laying around, I do try to get a couple of them where I can. More contests, more independent Valiant articles. I want to get to that price guide because I know you guys want to see some prices on some 90s books. If next time, remind me if I'm ever on a Comic Core or something like that, and we need some Q&A. Wizard has our back. So, Chad, when you're giving away books on Fridays, let me know in advance. I'll bring some Wizards with me so we can do some trivia out of there. But you know what? We're gonna skip to the end of the book. Actually, there's one thing I did want to highlight, and I think I just totally skipped over it. Wizards picks of the month for 1994. Let's see what Wizard wanted you to buy in 1994. So, of course, he's on the cover, so you're going to want to buy Spawn 19 and 20. So, there you go. We also got Batman vs. Predator 2, Star Trek Deep Space Nine / Star Trek Next Generation #1. That is a mouthful of a title right there. So, there we go. Good old 90s Star Trek comics. The same thing with Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, Dark Lords of Sith, Book 1, #1. Ugh, that just hurts my tongue saying it. Nice long titles there. All right, so this is one of the other ones I always like to highlight when I do these Wizard highlight videos. Is we got the top 100, so we'll at least cover your top 10 and your bottom 10 for the month of November. Actually, this says September of 1994. But before that, I do want to get back into the chat because I'm missing a lot. Let's see what we got. People are still saying hi to each other and toasting each other and all that good stuff. Poor man says, what is up, Walter White, talking about Tacoma. Yeah, he had an awesome Walter White costume on All About Comics. Awesome channel. Once again, that link, I just want to put the link at that thing below because I wish so bad I could have been a part of that. It looked like a blast. Prowler671 says, Mr. Fantastic versus Elongated Man would be an interesting fight. Yeah, I think that would just end in a tie. Like, literally, they're tied together. So there you go. There's my joke of the night. You feel free to steal that. Brandon is asking, how do you like the Titans TV show? I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I thought Hawk and Dove were really well. I felt like I was almost watching a sequel to The Watchmen that Zack Snyder did, which I think that's a good thing. I really enjoyed that. The third one, it was okay. It didn't do too much for me. I actually was falling asleep during a little bit, so I kind of do want to watch the end of it again. But that was like the Starfire-centric episode, and I just wasn't feeling that one, I'll be honest. I hope Beast Boy gets worked into the story a little better than I think they're going to work him in because right now he seems super boring. But like I said, Hawk and Dove, they stole the series so far for me. That episode 2 is really good. And if you guys haven't watched Daredevil, I finally finished up Daredevil 2 in my TV viewing this last week. Maybe the best season yet of Daredevil. And that's hard to say because season 1 was one of my favorite things that ever came out of the MCU. So to say that the new season's better than that, like I didn't think I'd be saying that. But specifically that last episode, where I guess kind of spoilers, but in my opinion, kind of not, the fight between Daredevil and Kingpin, because hey, that whole season's leading up to that fight. That fight was I just love when they have their first showdown and it's just all rage. Like it popped off the screen. It was so rageful, in my opinion. So I think season 3 of Daredevil might be, besides for me, it's like Infinity War is the best thing MCU related they've ever produced, and then probably Daredevil season 3. So to have those two in the same year is pretty crazy to me. It just shows that there's really no limits to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We also have All About Comics, who I put his video link below to his Halloween video once again. And just for the umpteenth time, I'll plug his auction. He is having an auction about half hour from now, so I'll try to keep my wizard conclusion short so you guys can get your wallets out, memorize your credit card numbers, and send them to JP and Brandon Stowinski Comics. And Brandon Stowinski says he agrees. Season 3 was his favorite as well. Awesome, man. All right, so in September of 1994, your top 10 books. You guys want to give a stab at number 1? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to think about number 1. So I'll go over number 2 through 10. So number 2 was Spawn number 25. That's when they did because I just know they said like to buy Spawn 19 and 20 in October. They did Spawn 25 like a month before, like 19 through 24, because Image had this 90s gimmick where they released like one book out of sequence like 6 months or something before. And I think they would re-release it like when it was actually time to come out. So they get like double the sales almost on it. So Spawn 25 was number 2 in September because people didn't know what the hell was going on, basically. Something called X-Men Deluxe number 38 was number 3. X-Men. It's just X-Men 38, sorry. Uncanny X-Men 318 is number 4. So once again, 90s and X-Men go hand in hand. Number 5 was What Works number 3. So that's a pretty big achievement in my opinion for What Works to be in the top 5 and not to be an issue 1. That's pretty crazy to think about, isn't it? Wolverine 87 was number 6. Wildcats 14 at 7. Batman 512 at 8. Cyberforce number 8 at number 9. And Superman 94 at number 10. So let's see if anyone guessed number 1, which doesn't look like anyone took a stab at it, so I'll just keep going. The number 1 book for September 1994, Generation X number 1. Wow, like awesome wraparound chromium cover. Was probably like $4.94. Yeah, it's probably gonna be number 1 by default just because that was a lot of money for 1994. So I said I'd go over the bottom 10. We'll go ahead and do that. So the worst of the worst based on sales, you had War Machine number 8 at 91, Thor 480 at 92, Chaos Effect Epilogue from Valiant number 93. So there's your reality Valiant. Marvel Action Hour Iron Man number 1 Collector's Edition 94. I have no idea what the hell that book is. Exo Manowar 35 was at 96. I think I skipped over Chaos Effect Epilogue 2, 95. Vision number 1 at 97. Oh, that's got her staying. Have a number 1 issue. It doesn't even crack the top. 96. Oof. Justice League America 93 at 98. Martha Goes to Washington. Wow. Martha Goes to War number 5. Remember that Dark Horse book. That was 99. And X-Men 38 regular edition was at 100. So X-Men 38 made the list twice. So, yeah. All right, let's see what, because I just saw I got called out for not wearing a wrestling shirt. Well, I did start the whole stream in a lucha mask, so that's got to count for something, right? Sorry, this is what was on top of the laundry today. It was old Wolverine, so we all know he could beat Lobo any day of the week, according to the fan vote in the 90s. Easy E, the Game Hunter says Titans will be better as a cartoon. I like the first 2 episodes. The third one's hard to swallow. Yeah, I agree 100%, Eli. That third one, like I said, I had some Z's above my head after that one at the end. So, Great Legend says, based off Iron Man cartoon, trying to get Batman Adventures vibe. Okay, so he's talking about the Marvel Action Hour Iron. Yeah, I do remember the Marvel Action Hour now. Yeah, the cartoon wasn't even that great. Why did they ever make a comic? Dang. Genome is comparing Lobo and Galactus. Yeah, Galactus, he'd have a hard time, but he might win. All right, so we're about 8:30 here. Oh, I do want to get into the top 10. These are the comics they were telling you have to go and speculate on in 1994. So we've talked about already tonight your number one comic book in November 1994 to go out and buy and spend a ton of money on. It's Gen 13 number one. There you go. Coming from a dollar bin near you, Gen 13 number one. After that, Lady Death number one. That's a book I'd still actually like to have just because, hey, why not? It's Lady Death. She number one's at 3. And then once again, Gen 13. Number 4, Gen 13's at 5. For some reason, they shoehorned Amazing Spider-Man 149 in there at number 7. Gen 13's number 9. Vengeance of Vampirella, Deathblow 5A, and Kindred 3A are the last of your top 10. So we'll just do some, what did we suggest earlier? Harbinger prices in the 1990s. Let's see if they even had that listed in their price guides. Sometimes if it wasn't high price, they would just leave it out. But let's see if they priced Harbinger, because I know that was a request from the chat earlier. Harbinger. Yeah, it's dang. Oof. Harbinger number 1, $100. So there you go. Boom, $100 for Harbinger number 1, and then there's like a pink zero variant for 120, some sort of cutout one for $30. So make sure if you go speculate hard now, because Harbinger number 1 is a $100 book. You heard it here first. So there we go. Harbinger number 1. All right, is there anything else I need to look up for you guys? Because these are always fun to compare prices then now. While you guys are thinking about your answer, if you even want one, maybe you're just waiting for me to flip the video off. Here we go. Here's I haven't seen Pope Cerebus the first in the chat, but since they showed a picture of his new favorite comic, Green Lantern, Green Arrow 87, that means we've got to look it up. So for the low price of $25, you can get a near mint copy of Green Lantern, Green Arrow 87, the first appearance of John Stewart. So books on over $25. There you go. Boom. $25. Let's see what else we got. Great Legend says Lobo would make a great herald for Galactus. Yeah, I do agree. Based on the whole cosmic Ghost Rider thing now, would probably be a lot like that, I'm guessing. Maybe with a little bit more vulgarity and weird stuff going on for Lobo. Jesus Smith says, oops, I subbed you, Genome. I don't think oops is something you say before you sub somebody. He also says, I miss those Lady Deaths and the Evil Ernie. Yeah, I do too, man. I remember the first Chaos comic about was like, I think it was like Lady Death, or maybe it was Evil Ernie fights all the superheroes. Obviously, I didn't have any, trade rights or anything to anybody. So it was just like Lady Death and Evil Ernie killing like a bunch of untrademarked superheroes that looked like Superman and Batman and stuff. So I always thought that was pretty funny. All About Comics says, Genome, congrats, you are my 600 subscriber. Email me at his email for a surprise. That is awesome. So big congratulations to both Genome for hitting that 600, and definitely All About Comics, hard-earned and well-deserved 600 subscribers. Absolutely awesome channel. I know he's probably going to be at 1,000 sooner than he thinks. But yeah, definitely check out All About Comics. I don't think I've said that enough on this feed. Once again, I'm sorry for missing your show. All right. Genome says, if you see my channel, you do indeed say oops after subbing. That's a good one. Legend says, dang, awesome. That book got hot because at the time the Justice League cartoon. Yeah, like a Justice League cartoon was a few years away from that point too. So to get it for $25 near mint would have been pretty sweet, probably. Let's see if there's any other weird things going on. Apparently, Fury of Firestorm 61 test logo was worth $65. That one caught my eye for some reason. So if you guys know what the test logo is, go right out and buy it in your dollar bins now. I don't know if that's one of those Whitman weird ones or anything like that. We always got to look up New Mutants 98, see how Deadpool was doing in the 90s, if he's even listed in this one. Let's see. Dang, I should pick something closer to Lobo. Let's see. Nope. Lobo's not worth anything, even though they love him. He's not worth anything, apparently. All right, New Mutants, where are you? Lots of M's. Namor, he's pretty worthless. Yep. Dollar books all day. Fun fact, New Teen Titans #2, first appearance of Deathstroke, $20. So $20 for New Teen Titans #2, first appearance of Deathstroke, which I don't even think he is. Yeah, it says Grant Wilson as Ravager, Deathstroke, Wintergreen, Death of Ravager, and First Trigon. So there you go. $20 gets you all that. The first one's worth 15, which honestly, that's still about the same today-ish, depending on condition for that issue 1, but 2's really taken off, as it should have. Dang, is New Mutants even listed in here? Apparently, New Mutants 98 was so worthless, it's not even in this one. So it's worth $1? There you go. It goes from New Teen Titans to, oh, wait a minute. I think I just skipped it. Yep, there it is. It was just on the top. So 98, which is right there, $11.50 can get you a first Deadpool and first Gideon. So there you go. That's awesome. What a deal. And while we're there, 87, there's a $40 book. So, oh man, some of the things you should have bought. Let's go Gen 13 because it was a request from Poor Man's Comics earlier, I believe. We got to get the official price for Gen 13 in 1994. Those probably got like what was the color that goes up? Green. Gen 13. There we go. That was only a $30 book at that point, but yeah. Like almost all of them were like $30, $20, that type of stuff. My camera is saying the feed is about over, apparently, because it's not focusing. So you just have to take my word for it. $30, $20 for that second issue. Third issue is $15. I think the first one I got was issue number 5 because it's worth $1.95. So that's the way my collecting would work in the 90s. So yeah, like I said, I always love these price guides, and I know we talk about speculating that stuff today. This was my #1 source for figuring out what I had. I think I would look up. I see Comic Core Chad still in there, and say thank you for recommending people thumbs up. But I don't know about you, Chad, but I would always like go to Superboy and see if my Superboy #1 went past like $2 every single month. That'd be the first thing I check. So like, yeah, this one it was exactly at $2. So I called it exactly $2. One of my all-time favorites, Superboy #1 from '94. I was hoping in this one they'd have one of. Oh, here it is. So earlier we're talking about the Hot 10 writers and artists. So your Hot 10 artists in November of '94, we have Todd McFarlane at #1. That's a surprise. Stephen Platt for Prophet at #2. Frank Miller for his Sin City work at #3. Awesome picture of Greg Capullo at #4. So there we go. Come on, camera. You got to at least focus for. There we go. Greg Capullo, ladies and gentlemen. So #5, we have Silvestri. #6, Casada. 7, Liefeld. 8, Kubert. 9, Wolf Portasio, and 10, Adam Kubert. So there you go. I just love that picture of Capullo because he's not even the same now. So there we go. Gotta love it. Then, of course, Hot 10 writers, Frank Miller, Peter David, Neil Gaiman, John Byrne, Jeff Smith, and I'll just leave it there. That Claremont actually made the list at 10. That's cool. Good for him. All right. So I think that just about does it for my recap of this wizard. Unless anyone else wants to see a random price. Yeah, Superman said, yeah, let's look up Superman 75 before we sign off. Because Superman 75, that was always one. That was like another one. It's like, what's my 4th print worth? Is it worth more than $1? So let's see if he's even listed in here. Second series, 94. That was the new one for the month. So the Platinum Edition of Superman 75 was valued at $200. The direct Black Bag Edition was a $26.50 book. And your newsstand was $11. So, and my copy was worth $2.50. So there you go. Boom, done. Love these wizards. So once again, there's that. So let's see if I can recap the chat in my Lucha mask without dying. Because I do want to read some of these. So this is what, if you guys joined us midstream, this is pretty much what you missed. Now I can't find my hat. There we go. Legend, you were criticizing me for not wearing wrestling attire earlier. So there we go. I was going to do the whole thing like this, but I almost died 5 minutes in. And it's still uncomfortable now. But anyway, we're going to get through it. Genome says, New Mutants 98, Wizard number 1 is listed at $6.50. What a steal. All About Comics says, I love that you do this, Wizard. We need to chat. I started a project you might want to join me with. Oh, yeah, hit me up, All About Comics. Definitely love me some Wizard stuff, so be interested to see what you're thinking about, man. Let's see. I don't know how Spidey sees in this. This is not fun. Your Legend says, my Superman 75 went backwards from $50 to 50 cents. I don't think it was just yours, Legend. Comic Core says, Connor, yep, boy, Connor Kent got to mention about like every feed. Jay Smith says he's glad he sold his Superman 75 still bagged. Yep, thumbs up to you. All right, Easy E says, damn, Capullo looks like Goldberg now. Yeah, he kind of does, actually. Funny Goldberg. So he's definitely transformed his look. With that being said, I've rambled on for, wow, hour and 10 minutes. What was I thinking today? Dang, sorry about that. But nonetheless, last couple plugs. Once again, for the umpteenth time tonight, JP, All About Comics, having an auction on his channel. He can get over 600 subscribers tonight, so go to his channel, sub him up, be a part of his auction because it starts in about 20 minutes. We also have the Great Legends auction on Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be another great time. So if the Great Legends show, please go to his auction. Comic Core, Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. You never know what's going to happen on the Comic Core. Also, sub up the Comic Core channel because it looks like Paul and Bueller are also putting out videos. Instead of just like the live streams we have on Friday nights, they're doing the whole thing with the, they're just doing videos. So that's cool to get some extra content for the channel. And I don't know if we're going to review on the Great Legends channel. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll talk about, I'm sure, later this week. Or maybe WWE Blood Money or, oh shit, what's it called? WWE Crown Jewel, I think is coming up sometime this weekend. The all men's pay-per-view. So we may do that, but I think we're going to do a WWE Evolution, the women's pay-per-view this Wednesday around 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe. I'll have to get with Legend and figure out when we're doing that, but I think we're doing that tomorrow night. So look out on the Great Legends show for that. As I took some notes, I'm ready to talk about some women's pay-per-view action. Legend says, bring out the Gulak. Yeah, I actually went almost an entire episode about mentioning Gulak. So, yeah, Gulak may be making his return tonight in 2K action. We'll see. A little bit rusty because I played Red Dead, then went out of town, so I really haven't played since last week. Bueller says, Gulak hack attack. Yeah, because Gulak, he'll hit you with the Ghoul lock, the Ghoul up, which is his roll up, and the Ghoulplex. The Gulak suplex, that's his signature move. So it's very good. Jay Smith says, I might not be able to make action. Got to get $3.45 for Amazon Sunday. Dang. And to sign us out, Chad from Comic Core says, Little Jimmy. So once again, thank you guys so much for catching my live stream. Hope I didn't ramble on too long. And I'm going to say bye because this is really hot. So have a good night.